You may have chanted the sound Om many times, perhaps in your yoga class or during a quiet moment of reflection. You may have heard it or seen it written as a symbol, but have you ever wondered or stopped to consider what is actually happening inside you when you make this sound? Did you know that within this one simple vibration, a journey that begins in the back of your throat and ends with your lips gently closed, lies a complete map of human consciousness, a secret blueprint to the mystery of your own waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states is encoded within its acoustics. Science tells us our universe began with a big bang, an explosion of unimaginable energy. But would you believe it if I told you that our ancient sages believed the universe began not with a bang but with a hum, a primordial frequency from which everything else emerged? They called this sound pranava, the sound that is ever new, and they thought that this cosmic hum is the very same sound as Om. In our first episode, we introduced the Mandukya Upanishad as the gateway to this understanding. Today, we are going to walk through that gate and explore the architecture of this profound sound itself. We will break it down into its constituent parts, not just as a symbol, but as a dynamic process. The rishis who composed the Upanishads were not just philosophers, they were scientists of the inner world. They understood that Om is not a single static sound, it is a process made of three audible components and one inaudible one. A, U, and the silence that follows. The genius of this discovery was in realizing that the physical journey of this sound through our vocal system is a perfect mirror for the journey of our consciousness through its different states of being. To understand this, we turn to an ancient field of study called Siksha or Vedic phonetics. Let's begin the journey together. The first sound is pronounced as in in father. Try it. You will notice this sound originates from the very back of the throat. It is the most open, foundational sound a human can make. It requires no help from the tongue or the lips. It is that starting point of all spoken language. The great Tamil poet and philosopher Thiruvalluvar begins his masterpiece, the Tirukkural, by stating that is the first of all letters, just as the primal being is the first of the world. This isn't just a linguistic fact, it's a deep philosophical parallel. This sound represents the waking state. This is our experience of the gross external material world. It is the state where our consciousness is turned outward, engaging with the world through our five senses. It is the most common shared reality, the foundation upon which all our other experiences are built. It is the beginning of the song of life, just as is the beginning of all sounds. From the sound seamlessly transitions into oo, pronounced like the oo in who. As you make this sound, feel what happens. The sound moves forward in your mouth. Your lips begin to round and come closer together. This physical transition is an exact analog for the second state of consciousness, the dreaming state. Here, our awareness is no longer focused outward on the material world, it turns inward. The dream world is a subtle world made of thoughts, memories, emotions, and images. It's a private internal reality. Just as the sound acoustically bridges the opening and the closed the dream state is the bridge between our outer objective life and our inner unmanifest depths. It is the world of fluidity, of transition, where the rules of the waking world no longer apply. The final audible part of the sound is the gentle hum that makes with your lips completely closed. The vibration is no longer projected outward. Instead, it resonates inside your skull, a low, deep vibration. This represents the third state of consciousness, deep, dreamless state. In this state, consciousness is completely withdrawn from both the external world and the internal world of dreams. There are no desires, no thoughts, no objects of perception. It is a state of pure unity, an undifferentiated mass of consciousness where all experiences has come to a point of rest. Just as the sound brings the vocal journey to a close, the state of deep sleep brings all our daily mental and physical activities to a point of resolution and restoration. The song has faded into a final unified hum. But this is not the end. In fact, the most important part of the chanting Om is what happens next, the silence. This is not an empty, vacant silence. It is a silence that is pregnant with potential. It is a source from which the sounds arose and into which they dissolve. The scriptures call the fourth component the amatra, the unmeasurable, the part beyond the letters. This silence represents the fourth state of consciousness known as turiya. Turiya is not another state like waking, dreaming, or sleeping. It is the unchanging, ever present awareness that witnesses the other three. Think of it like a cinema screen. The waking state is an action movie full of external events. The dreaming state is a fantasy film full of internal images. Deep sleep is when the projector is turned off, the screen is blank. But throughout all three, what remains constant? The screen itself. The screen is Turiya. It is the silent, aware background upon which the entire movie of your life plays out. It is the pure consciousness, that is you, which is never born, never sleeps, and never dies. The great Tamil sage Ramalinga Adigal spoke of a state beyond sound, a union of light and vibration, which is the perfect description of this profound, aware silence. You are not the movie, you are the screen. This ancient introspective map of consciousness finds stunning parallel in the language of modern neuroscience. When you are awake and alert, your brain produces fast frequency beta waves corresponding to the outward focused state. When you are in the dream state or REM sleep, your brain shifts to lower theta waves associated with emotions, memory, and internal imaginary, the inner world of ooh. In deep dreamless sleep, your brain produces the slowest delta waves, a state of deep restoration and unity, perfectly mirroring the resolving hum of And what about Turiya, the silence, which is not a deep state? The advanced meditators who cultivate this state of pure awareness exhibits high amplitude gamma waves, indicating a brain that is not switched off but is in state of peak integration, coherence, and consciousness. It is a state that is scientifically distinct from the other three. Let's zoom out from our inner world to the cosmos itself. The concept of primordial creative sound is echoed in one of the most significant discoveries of modern cosmology, the cosmic microwave background radiation. This is a faint residual radiation, an afterglow, a subtle hum that perme- permeates the entire universe. It is the oldest light, the leftover vibration from the Big Bang. While it's not a sound we can hear with our ears, it is a form of vibration that tells us the universe began from a single, unified, incredible energetic point. This provides a powerful modern metaphor for pranava, the idea of Om as the fundamental frequency of the universe, the sound of creation itself. The Tamil Siddha Tirumular wrote that from within this resonant sound, the five elements and all of creations were born. Science can even show us this principle in action. There's a fascinating field called cymatics, which is the study of visible sound. If you place fine sand on a metal plate and vibrate it with a pure tone, the sand doesn't just bounce around randomly. It spontaneously organizes itself into a beautiful, intricate geometric patterns. The vibration creates form. A simple frequency organizes chaos into order. This is a tangible, visible demonstration that the ancient principle that Om is the form generating vibration of the universe. To bring this all together, imagine a master musician. Before she sings a note, her entire art, the every possible melody, every hymn, every emotions exists within her as silent potential. That boundless silent potential is Turiya. To begin her performance, she takes a breath and produces the first strong foundational note that fills the hall. That is, the waking state. The tangible reality of the song begins. Then her voice glides and flows through the melody, creating intricate patterns, evoking joy, sorrow, and longing. This is the dreaming state, the internal world of art and emotions. Finally, she holds a long, resonated note that fades into an hum, a vibration that settles in the hall before disappearing. This is the deep sleep state where the music resolves back into unity. But where did the music go? It dissolved back into the silence from which it came. The performance is over, but the audience is left in a profound, reverberating silence. They are changed. That is the silence after Om. The crucial insight is this: you are not the song that is being sung, you are the singer. This profound understanding that a direct and powerful impact this profound understanding has a direct and powerful impact on how we live our lives and build our societies. The core insight of Om is unity in diversity. The sounds are distinct. They represent very different states and experience. Yet they are not separate. They are inseparable parts of a single unified whole. This is a perfect metaphysical model for healthy society. In the world, we see people of different backgrounds, beliefs, genders, and communities. Our untrained mind sees them as oo, and separate, different, maybe even in opposition. The wisdom of Om teaches art teaches us that these are just different expressions, different notes in the same universal song of existence. The sound is not better than oo. The sound is not superior to all are essential for the completeness of the sound. When you truly realize this, when you feel in your bones that the same universe vibrates, animates in you, your neighbor, and your perceived enemy, the very foundation of otherness begins to crumble. This leads directly to the great Tamil ideal: all places are my home, all people are my kin. Compassion is no longer just a nice moral idea to be practiced, it becomes the logical and natural consequences of understanding reality. To harm another is to create a jarring, dissonant note in the one cosmic song, which we are we all are in inseparable part. True social reforms doesn't begin with laws or protest. It begins with the internal shift from seeing division to hearing harmony. The beauty of this philosophy is not that it is not something you must believe in. It is something you can experience. Your own body is the laboratory. The acoustics of Om are not abstract. Your experiences, the journey from the open throat through the rounding lips to to the final resonant hum. Every single time you chant it, it is an internal physical confirmation of the philosophy. The next time you find a quiet moment, don't just chant Om, observe it. Feel the sound begin, feel its transition, feel it resolve, and then rest in the silence that follows. In doing so, you are not just making a sound, you are tracing the path of your own consciousness back to its source. Thank you for joining us on this journey. If this exploration resonates with you, please consider subscribing and becoming part of our community of seekers. In our next episode, we will go even deeper, focusing entirely on the first sound, uh, and exploring the profound mysteries of the waking state and the cosmic entity known as Vaishvarna. Until then, be well.